They don't use them very much, but the thing is you got to have a.
Good morning, everybody. I call to order the Saline County Commission Public Forum and Meeting for March 1st, 2016 to order. I would ask everyone to join me in the flag salute in a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Will the clerk call the roll?
Commissioner Shadwick.
Here.
Commissioner Gall.
Here.
Commissioner Price.
Here.
Commissioner Larson. So note she is missing today, not present. Commissioner Smith.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, move to the public forum where citizens may speak on county government. It's usually limited to 3 minutes. Is there anyone that would like to speak today?
Karen Shade, 111 Wisconsin. I was wanting to ask this commission officially about the commission's role, if any, in regard to Commissioner Price's circulating a petition related to something involving the city. I noticed when I was present last week, the part of the story took place in the city commission, or excuse me, in the county commission office during usual meeting times, and the paper reported that during Tuesday's county commission meeting, Price presented a petition to County Councilor Mike Montoya for approval. And that makes it very much sound like it's part of this county. So and yet I didn't see it in the minutes. And I'm trying to determine what your feelings are, as does Commissioner Price represent this organization in that crusade or not. Commissioner Price has been behind another petition drive regarding improvements with the Bicentennial Center. He's on record as saying that he thought some issues with the road and bridge shop should be put up to a vote, whether $2 or $3 million building was appropriate or not. I believe the same issue involves Ray Ruska, and he was behind a petition drive, I believe, with the Business Incentive District. So I'm wondering, are these activities representative of the commission? Are they representative just of Citizen Price? It emerged today that the office, understandably, is getting phone calls about this topic. So I'm just curious where all things stand.
I'll answer on behalf of the commission, and then I'd let Commissioner Price first, if you don't mind. Okay. First of all, on this. You listed about 4 issues. There's only one issue that I'm concerned about, and that's the petition. This commission doesn't have anything to do with this. It was not voted on. It was not talked about. If it was presented in the paper that it happened at the commission meeting, that is false. We had adjourned. I had actually left the building. I didn't even know about it. So, that one's a simple one for me. If Commissioner Price would like to expand, then that's
I want to say that nobody knew about it in the commission. I never talked to anybody. You had no idea. Nobody knew about anything about it as a citizen. I live in the Salina. Mm-hmm. Jim lives in the county. He has no say. You live in the county. I'm doing that as a citizen.
You have no say.
You can't vote.
No, I know that.
And all this is bringing this issue to a vote. And I have every right. I pay property tax on my house in this town. I don't know what you pay, but I pay property tax. I have a right to do this. But I never drug anybody into this situation. It has nothing to do with the county. Mike Montoya is who you present it to. I saw him between a break and gave it to him. So that's gotten, and because Mike Montoya is associated with me, he turned it over to Riley County to make the decision to keep him out of the. So this has nothing to do. Call me John Price. Don't call me Commissioner John Price when it comes to city matters.
But my understanding is it's County Councilor Mike Montoya. So to have handed it to Mike Montoya, representing the county, does he also represent the city?
No, he represents the county. Anybody, if you have any petition, you will give it to Mike Montoya, whether you're city or county. He's the one that you give this to. Did you want me to give it to you?
I just didn't
He's the one
understand
you
what
get.
his
Well,
involvement is.
This is a county. He's the one that any petition is made, you bring it to him. So
For the city.
Whether it's the fluoride, whether it was the LGBT, whether it's Ray's petition, you bring it to Mike Montoya.
Because that's
who you bring it to.
A role assigned to him by the court?
Yes.
No, it's not the court, ma'am. It's a state statute.
State statute.
Okay, I guess that's
It
something
goes to
I
the
need
county. It
research.
goes to the county councilor, not
And
the
he
county
appropriately
attorney.
passed it on as soon as possible.
Yes.
Okay, because there is kind of an appearance of potential conflict where he advises you and your role as county council.
Well, and that's why he turned it over to Riley County to make the decision.
Okay.
And they help each other. So it was not make a decision, just to make sure the petition was approved. And this has nothing to do with our county. I'd like to move on, if it's all right.
Well, and my only suggestion is there were other places and times to have presented this to avoid the confusion.
All right, thank you.
I'll ask your permission next time, Karen, if that'd be all
Let's
right.
just move on. That's fine. Is there anyone else who would like to come forward at this time?
Ray Ruska, 235 North Santa Fe. I'll make a short, quick comment about this issue. Monty had already adjourned the meeting. Mike Montoya was done with his update. There was not any issue about, whether this was done properly. And the petition is approved by the county councilor, whether it's any petition at all. And of course, Mike Montoya pressed the issue as far as he wanted to make sure there was no impropriety, and he did. So I agree with, Commissioner Shadwick's comment about that, and it was true.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to come forward at this time? Seeing none, we'll move on to regular business. Item number 1.
Approval of agenda for today's public meeting as presented.
Motion, please.
I move that we approve the agenda for public forum as presented.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Item number 2.
Approval of county commission minutes for February 23rd, 2016.
Is there any public comment on this before I take a motion? Motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the county commission minutes of February 23rd, 2016 as presented.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Quickly moving on to item number 3.
It's a bid award for the sheriff's office vehicles. Have Captain Roger Soldan of the sheriff's office here to give you a report on that.
Welcome again, Captain.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. We had been requested and were approved funding to purchase vehicles for the Sheriff's Office in this year's EIP budget. We looked through the vehicles that we currently have in our fleet, picked the 4 vehicles that we thought we should probably in the biggest need of getting replaced. 2 of them are coming from the Corrections Division. They're vans that have been in service since 2004, both with over 200,000 miles. 2 from the Patrol Division's fleet, one being the K-9 units vehicle, which has got a little over 150,000 miles and uncounted hours of service in. The other one's a patrol truck that has about 190,000 miles on it, but it's been involved in a collision in the past and has had several maintenance issues. So those are the 4 vehicles that we identified we needed to replace. Working with the Administrative Resource Center, we prepared some bids and they were sent out to numerous dealers. They were also advertised in the Salina Journal. When those bids were opened on February 17th, we did receive bids back from Long MacArthur of Salina, Shawnee Mission Ford from Shawnee Mission, Kansas, and Ed Bozarth of Topeka, Kansas. In both the case of the police SUVs and the 12-passenger vans, Long MacArthur of Salina was the lowest bidder. We're looking for approval to approve the bids with trade-in vehicles, with those 4 trade-in vehicles. The total for the vehicles with equipment and trade is $127,258. That's under our $135,000 that was approved for purchase this year.
We went over this last week at the study session, but are there any further questions?
I'd like to mention that when Jim and I came on, we put some things up for Purple Wave because the trade-ins were real cheap. And ever since then, the trade-in values have been very good.
Yeah, they're more in line now. I mean, once we done the Purple Wave one shot, why they did bring them into line, which we approved. We approved of that.
In this case, I think Long MacArthur was more than generous.
Yes, they were, and we look at that when we look at these bids.
Yeah, we look at that very closely.
So we're going to try to save the county as much money as we can.
I also was interested in your inventory list last week, and I think I mentioned this, is that sometimes there's a perception that everybody drives brand new vehicles, and all anybody needs to do is look at that list and see the miles and
that inventory is kind of an eye opener. Of course, you guys know I'd requested funding for 10 cars, which I didn't think I was probably going to get, but I do appreciate the 4 we are getting.
Very good. Right. Is there public comment on this? Bring it back to the commission for action.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we award the bid for the 2 police SUVs and the 2 12-passenger vans with equipment to Long MacArthur Incorporated in the amount of $127,258 with trade-in.
I'll second that.
So motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Well, this might be a record so far. But is there any other business that needs to come before the commission?
I wanted to say I talked to one of the deputies last week, and they really like driving those SUVs. They're easy to get out of. They're comfortable. They've got just as much room as a big pickup. They save a lot of dollars in fuel. And there probably is a fight over, I want the SUV. And it used to be they wanted the pickup. So, and we need a pickup for certain things. We need a pickup, but I just wanted to mention those SUVs really are tough. They have some acceleration if they need it too.
Well, and they're much safer at higher speeds. They're built. That's what they're built for.
Right.
They're not. Our trucks are just like you'd buy off the lot with tons of equipment on them. So.
And these are special police SUVs,
Yes.
are they not?
Yeah, they've got the heavy.
Because I
alternators and
remember when we
suspensions.
went to the shows and stuff, they're a little higher, but
Yes.
I think they're worth the bucks.
Definitely, they got the bigger brakes, the bigger alternators, everything.
Absolutely.
For that. All right, thank you, sir.
You betcha.
Take care of them.
Any other announcements before we adjourn?
I have one. It's from Jedediah Morris, one of our founding fathers. It says, "To the kindly influence of Christianity we owe that degree of civil freedom and political and social happiness which mankind now enjoys. Whenever the pillars of Christianity shall be overthrown, our present republican forms of government and all blessings which flow from them must fall with them."
Motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second that.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Passes 4-0. Have a good week, everybody.
Paper you gave